not a YouTuber, just like making videos. And today we're going to talk about the future. Autonomous automobiles. Cars that can operate themselves without a driver. You know, back in the days, people used to have fantasies about flying cars. You know, like Back to the Future Part 2. But who would have thunk it? You know, now we're going to have driverless cars. And we're going to go into the schematics. And we're going to talk about the pros and cons, you know, of these autonomous automobiles. You know, technically they exist. They got the technology, you know, where a car can get you to point A to point B with very little human interaction. And some people have said it's a bad thing because it's making human beings lazy. You know, for whatever calories we do burn driving a car. Now, you know what I mean? Now we don't even have that. You know, the concept of humans driving, you know, has made us fatter, you know, and more obese. As back in the days, you know what I'm saying, humans used to walk more, you know, and now humans have gotten so lazy, they're like, well, I don't even want to even drive. I'm going to just sit here and let the car drive itself. Now, technically, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, I'm like, you know, I can understand driving sometimes can be a difficult or monotonous task, and it's good to have help, but it's nothing, you know what I'm saying, to take over the driver's wheel. I like the way they build cars now. They're easy to drive. It's easy to turn and but now people don't even want to put their foot on the accelerator. I guess that's too much work. But now they're talking about these cars. You know what I'm saying? They're going to eliminate a lot of jobs. A lot of driver jobs are going to be eliminated because they're saying that these cars, people who work as chauffeurs, taxi drivers, truck drivers, even bus drivers, that these cars are going to operate fully. These vehicles are going to operate fully without any sort of supervision from a human being, you know. And to me, that spells disaster. Now, they've stated that it's motivated by safety. They said because humans have human errors and that cars are less likely to get into accidents. I mean, self-driving, autonomous automobiles are less likely to get into accidents. But to me, I think the bottom line is money. These companies are seeing the potential. They're like, oh man, yeah, I mean, we can eliminate drivers. You know, we can have these cars out here, you know what I'm saying, making us money, you know, without having to pay a human being. You know, and that's what's motivating it. And companies like Uber is supposedly trying to put these cars out by 2020, in a mere 4 years, with their partnership with Tesla. You know, and I don't see any much good coming out of this. Like, they did a research, and most Americans stated that they prefer to drive them cars themselves, or if they're being chaperoned, have a human driver. They don't trust, you know, I mean, these vehicles operating on their own. Could you imagine getting into a taxi cab or an Uber car, and there's no driver in the driver's seat? You know, and even with these people these self-driving cars that have a driver there to make sure to take over when things, you know what I'm saying, gets rough or whatever. You know, they've stated that, you know, though the cars that be on the interstate, you know, going 65 miles an hour or so forth, but when they get off the ramp, they don't know to slow down. So they're getting off the exit ramp, still going 65 miles an hour. And so that's scary, to sit inside of a taxi cab or Uber car, and it's operating by itself, and you're kind of on edge to see if this car is going to stop or do what it's supposed to do. Now, we're talking about the elimination of a lot of jobs. I'm like, you're talking about truck drivers, which truck driving jobs are the most common jobs here in America. And so these autonomous automobiles, this program or whatever, I guess they're gonna know how to do sharp turns. And sometimes when you're driving, you gotta make split-second decisions, because all sorts of, to us human beings, it's nothing, but to a car, it has to react and figure out what to do. Like, for instance, let's say you're on the road and they're detouring people to go an auxiliary route. You have these orange cones, and you can't pass the orange cones because they're, they're detouring you to another way. But how would these self-driving cars, how would they know to turn with those orange cones? They may just plow right into it and run into a construction zone. And that's the thing. Now, David Pakman of the Pakman Show saying that, well, these autonomous cars, they're coming, and if people lose their jobs, then so be it. Because, during the invention of the automobile, I'm like, you had the horse and buggy guy lost his job. But that's foolish. You can't compare the guy who operates the horse and carriage losing his job compared to so many people, are going to be out of work because of this. I'm like, the introduction of the automobile to American society was a cataclysm. I'm like, it created so many jobs. People working inside, the factories to build the cars, people to design the cars, and then, taxi drivers and chauffeurs and things of that nature, to the horse and buggy guy losing his job can get a job somewhere in the automobile industry, because it created thousands, if not millions, of jobs. And that's the thing. So therefore, like, if you look at something like a truck driver, like, you're gonna have these big rigs operating by themselves. And I kind of remind me of that movie Maximum Overdrive. If anybody remembers that Stephen King movie where cars came to life and started terrorizing people. That's a good premise for a Hollywood movie. You know what I mean? But let's say the truckers got a whole entire economy dedicated to them. You got omelet shops, hotels, and things of that nature. The lot lizards, everything is like dedicated to truckers. Even in my city, there's this area, that's like a big trucker depot where truck drivers park. There's all these motels there. There's all these eateries there, and there's places. There's a strip club, and there's places just frequented by truck drivers. They get business from truck drivers. So now, all that's going to be gone. You know what I'm saying? So this ain't going to be good for the economy if this is even possible to pull off. You're talking about self-driving automobiles interacting with the public. You know what I mean? They're even talking about the pizza delivery drivers and mailmen, FedEx drivers and UPS drivers all losing their jobs. I don't even see how that's possible when a FedEx guy has to deliver the package to your front door. UPS or the mail person. So I'm like, they're just, it just seems like a whole lot of greed. And they're like, oh, we eliminate the drivers. Oh, we can have all this cash. But then there's going to be so many other problems that arise. Let's say, hypothetically, they're able to pull this off. I'm saying, all vehicles, delivery vehicles or whatever, is going to be autonomous. I think that ultimately they want to eliminate the idea of human it'll eventually become the idea of people of human beings not driving at all, and only cars on is just driving themselves. But let's say you have these delivery services and taxi service, they're all, what I'm saying, a computer program, what I'm saying? And when people look at the problems, even though, if one of these autonomous automobiles run and kill somebody, people are making the argument saying, oh, well, what I'm saying, human drivers do this all the time. But people are going to be like, yeah, it's different because we're going to seem powerless, when these cars are operating on their own. Or, what I'm saying? Or what if somebody can hack into a car, hack into the system, or, when you have these FedEx drivers or whatever delivering these packages or whatever, hack it in and make the car come to them, So therefore, it's going to create an array of problems, because they want to eliminate the idea of a driver, because human beings make human errors, But my thing is like, okay, let's say it's real. Let's say, there's no human drivers anymore, and people are sort of frustrated. And let's say there's like this one company saying, hey, we're gonna bring back human drivers. Do business with us. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna create jobs and so forth. You see what I mean? I think about Star Wars, the Phantom, the prequels, and how they had droids, and eventually they got rid of the droids, and with the stormtroopers, the clones, carbon-based life forms, living creatures, and so even though they were clones, they said, hey man, this is a better option than these droids. So going into the Star Wars universe, as you had to figure that they used life forms, humans or aliens or whatever, and then eventually replaced them with the droids. And then the droids have come up to be, somewhat insufficient and flawed, and they said, hey, there's nothing like that human touch, or whatever they call humans in the Star Wars universe. So that's what I see happening. I can't really picture taxi drivers, Uber drivers, pizza deliveries coming into the hood, and just crossing across towns, dealing with all kind of obstacles and traffic. It's going to cause problems and have people not have faith in the system, because they're going to recognize that human beings have never really created a perfect system ever to begin with, But that's all I want to say. Thanks for watching, and never stop learning.